the Planned Parenthood funding timing out right when Cecile Richards yesterday speaking before the Oversight Committee. By the way, what did you make of that? How do you think that went yesterday?
Well, I was sorry that the Democrats saw it as just a time to demagogue against Republicans, because these are serious issues. When someone says they're running a nonprofit and they only care about women's health, and yet they're taking $500,000 or more for a salary, and then local little offices of nonprofits, they're taking $400,000 for a nonprofit salary. Are you kidding me?
Right.
You're not about women's health. You're about yourself.
And
you're
86% of their revenue from abortion.
And I thought that was very. Oh, yeah, yeah. And then they were running a huge profit, which means more money, more expansions. They don't need federal money to be what they're doing. And that was the point I was trying to make, Dana, about them saying, oh, we don't use any of the $500 million that Congress gives us for abortions. Well, it doesn't matter if we're paying for your
right. rent
or to pay for your building, your utilities, your salaries, for the things you're using to kill babies. Yes. We are funding it.
That
no
federal
way
money
that.
is enabling them to not use money out of their own pockets. I mean, it's fungible. It's the same. We had a big old bust up over this a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and we finally had an admission, despite all of those that have tried to step in and say it's not true. We finally got an admission. Yes, it's true. We knew it was true. I did. You did. They have never, ever in the history of Planned Parenthood done a mammogram for any woman.
Right.
They take all this federal money. You come in, you need a mammogram. They send you over to another facility. Why don't we just send all that money to the other facility so that Planned Parenthood doesn't take a cut? It all goes for women's health care instead of Planned Parenthood executives making $500,000, $400,000, all these massive salaries they were making. It's crazy.
I want to switch the focus, Congressman, from domestic issues to the issue that's been making headlines this morning, of course, with Russia's actions in Syria today, telling our military to get our fighter jets out of the way because they're going to conduct airstrikes, but not on ISIS targets. They're targeting other Syrian rebels, and then the question is, well, are they targeting the rebels that the United States has been assisting and helping to train? And how horrible does this look? I mean, we just had the dueling UN addresses. The president and Vladimir Putin, they shook hands, they had their photos taken, and apparently they came to some kind of agreement that Samantha Powers and her Gwyneth Paltrow word gymnastics said that, well, they bypassed, I guess, because we were going to deconflict this entire situation. What is going on here?
Well, you have to go back to the beginning of the relationship between this Obama administration and Putin. Now, some in this administration say, oh, it's really hard to figure this guy out. No, it isn't. He's going to do everything he can to restore a Soviet empire. He deeply regrets it's going. And if you look at that first ridiculous scene where Secretary of State Hillary Clinton goes over with a red button with the wrong Russian word on it saying we want a reset, you have to understand what that meant to Putin. Now, I can tell you, I as a college student, was an exchange student of the Soviet Union. I've learned a lot about the way they think over the years. Look, Putin had invaded Georgia. And so that stifled relations with the Bush administration. The Bush administration reeled back, wait a minute, we thought we were friends, and it really threw a wall in the middle of relations because the Bush administration had to let Putin know, what you've done is wrong. We cannot condone that kind of activity. You've invaded Georgia. So when Hillary Clinton went over with her little reset button, the message was very clear to Putin, you know what, look, we want to reset the relationship. We're sorry that Bush overreacted when you invaded Georgia. We're okay with you invading Georgia. You just invade everything you want to invade because we want a new relation. Whatever you want to do is good with us. That's the message that Putin got from that.